And I am live. What's going on, everybody? Went to the weigh and pay yesterday. This is the first time in a couple of weeks that I've been there. Actually, probably about 3 weeks. And I am live. What's going on, everybody? Went to the weigh. Didn't have my YouTube muted. So yeah. Anyway, I went to the weigh and pay yesterday. I hadn't been there in a few weeks, so got a few pretty cool things. Obviously, my mic's working, so I don't have to check with you guys. But we're I had my daughter with me, and she had a good time. She always likes to go and play around with all the stuff. Good morning, Debbie. Finds the stuffed animals and all that. And she's like really addicted to all the little doll toys and stuff. She'll sit there and just pull out all the little tiny shoes, and she finds all the littlest, tiniest stuff in the bottom of the bins, and that's what she's into when she goes there. But it's pretty cute watching her. Maybe I should get into selling some of that kind of stuff, but kind of sucks because she goes through all that work and then has to put it back. But yeah, I mostly stuck to the books. I did pick up a few other things, a couple things that I threw back just because, too big, didn't want to deal with it. And yeah, I think I did pretty good. I spent around $50, and I found one book that'll pay for the entire trip. Everything else is gravy. And found some video games and stuff. I mean, I'm guessing probably turn it into about $600 or $700 gross overall. First thing that I found, well, it's not the first thing, but it's definitely the thing that caught my eye. It's Halloween. And somebody had actually turned this on, and I could hear it in the bin making all that noise, and it was really annoying. So I went ahead and found it and thought it was cool, and it worked perfectly. But yeah, these animatronic little dolls, noisemaker, whatever type stuff, sells really good around Halloween. And this is one that doesn't necessarily have to be a Halloween item. I mean, if some crazy cat lady wanted to just have it around, probably could do that. But freaked out my cats with it. It was pretty fun. But yeah, if I wanted to sell that, I bet I get $20 for it. So I don't know. We'll see. I actually grabbed this guy when I was checking out. It was in the bin right next to the register, and somebody threw it back while I was standing there. It's a Banana Republic vintage, made in the USA. This is probably late 90s, I would think, just judging by the tag and everything. But it's got some wear. It's definitely distressed, but it doesn't have any real damage. It's just got a couple, the threads are separating in a couple spots, but that's no big deal. People kind of like that kind of stuff sometimes. And I mean, this is really well built, so it'll last. I'm guessing that I'll get probably $30 or $40 for it. I think I paid let's see, it weighed less than 4 pounds when I put it on the scale. So it was like $3.50 or something like that. Here's another one that I saw somebody throw back. I actually saw her looking at it in the cart, and I was like, oh man, why couldn't I find that? And then she threw it back. These messenger bags, especially the leather ones, they don't even need to be a good brand. These are just really popular right now, just as long as the hardware works really good and easy to open, and helps when it's got the little laptop thing. But this is from Wilson's Leather. I'm just going to take some leather dye to it and or some polish and clean it up just a little bit. It's mostly the handle that's got the most wear. The rest of it, I could probably just leave like this, and people would still dig this. So T-Rex Trading Company said I could get $80 easy for that jacket. Yeah, that's probably right. I didn't even bother to look it up. I just saw Banana Republic, saw that it was older, and bought it. I mean, Banana Republic's a really good brand for me. It does pretty good, especially with the higher end stuff. And like the leather jackets and some of the coats and sports jackets. I mean, if you ever go to Banana Republic and look on the racks, I mean, their jeans are like $50. Their sport jackets and their blazers, and they sell like suit pieces, that kind of stuff's like $200-$300 retail. And so I mean, getting $30, $40, $50 for that kind of stuff, it's ace. But yeah, those vintage Banana Republics. I actually have 2 other leather jackets that I need to get listed. I just don't have space to set up my I don't have space to set up my mannequin right now. So, and with good lighting, so I haven't been able to list all my coats. But it's that time of year. Definitely need to get all that stuff up there in time for like September, October. But anyway, this guy, I'll probably get $30 or $40 for it. I mean, it's a no-name brand, but it's leather. It's in good shape. The inside's good. It doesn't have a bunch of stains or anything. It's just a little nice and distressed. So that was a good pickup. This is a board game that I always grab when I see it. This is the for kids version. It still sells for like $60 or $70 on Amazon. It was missing a couple of game pieces, the cards that had little punched out spots. They were punched out, and I didn't see them in here. So I'm not sure what's going to happen or if I'm going to be able to sell this on Amazon, but I should still get 30 or 40 bucks for it on eBay, which I'm fine with that. You guys know I love martial arts, love jiu-jitsu, MMA, any of that stuff. Boxing, kickboxing. I just like to fight. And I actually have a match coming up here in a couple of weeks on August 18th. But that's going to be Brazilian jiu-jitsu. It's just strictly grappling. But these boxing gloves, the Everlast 12-ounce gloves, these cost me probably $1.50. I mean, 12 ounces times 2. And used, they sell for around $15 or $20 shipped. So these are a pretty good find. They're really easy to list. You don't have to take a bunch of measurements, all that stuff. Just take a few pictures. They don't take up a lot of room. Not a lot invested in them. So I always like to grab stuff like this. And gym equipment sells really well for me. So mostly because I know exactly what it is. I know how to describe it. If you don't really know what you're looking at, then maybe it's wouldn't be as good for you. But like I said, I know. So I do. I found this, and I was kind of surprised. It's a Constitution, and it's printed on aged paper. And I guess you can buy these at like in Washington, D.C. or at museums and stuff. But this is a pretty cool find. It weighed nothing. It cost me nothing. I mean, it probably 10 cents. I looked them up, and they seem to be going for about $20 on eBay. And I did a really quick look on this. Since it didn't really cost me anything, I thought it'd be cool to have, even if I can't sell it. But if I can get 20 bucks for it, it's going up for sure. This was a interesting find. It's just a little Coach purse. It's kind of dirty. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know what it is. It's got a metal Coach tag on it. The inside is, it's got the Coach on the inside. This thing weighed nothing again, so it probably cost me about less than 50 cents, maybe a quarter. I'll get at least $15 or $20 for it. I'm going to give it to my girlfriend first, though, and see if she can get rid of the stains. You can't really see them because they're not that bad, but the material is kind of weird. Okay, so Debbie Key said it looks like a makeup bag. That makes sense. So even if I only get 15 or 20 bucks for it, if I can get it clean, might get a little more. I don't know, but it was cheap. And I'm pretty sure it's original. It's an actual authentic Coach. I mean, it's really well made. And I'm pretty good at identifying fakes for the most part. Found this. It is the adapter for a Nintendo DS. I buy these whenever I see them. They cost nothing. I've got a listing up that always have them for sale as long as I have some in stock, and I usually get about $7 shipped for them. So, you know, make $2 or $3, but it takes no time. I find them all the time. I just throw it in a padded mailer and print out postage and ship it out. So I like selling this kind of stuff. It's just a little extra gravy, you know, and I can just toss it in my mailbox instead of taking it to the post office, and, you know, fits in there. Really no work whatsoever, just to make an extra couple bucks here and there. This was kind of cool. I don't know why this was still in there, but it did. It made it in the bins, but it's a pink OtterBox Defender, and it's from iPad Mini. These sell a little better than like the phone iPads or OtterBoxes, but original OtterBoxes, especially if they come with the box, I'll get $15 or $20 minimum for this. Just a good little find. I think that I might actually have an extra iPad mini laying around that needs an OtterBox. So I get them at pawn shops every once in a while. You know, if you, with these phone cases, a lot of times, especially the iPad and like Galaxy cases, I'll just save them. I won't even sell them. And then when I find a tablet at the pawn shop or whatever, then I'll end up selling it with the OtterBox, and it just lets you tack on an extra 20 or 30 bucks. It makes your listing stand out a little bit more, and it protects it better in shipping. So I always like to find this kind of stuff, especially when it costs me next to nothing, less than $1 for this. Vintage Philly, Pennsylvania. Hello, Paul. Good luck in your upcoming match. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. If you guys don't know, I've got a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu match coming up. It's a professional fight. It's going to be live on Flow Grappling, and it'll be at the National Western Stock Show if you're in Denver. I'm going to be fighting a guy named Evan Barrett, who I've actually been acquainted with for a long time. We were both Denver grapplers. I think he was a purple belt when I started training. So he's definitely got a lot of years on me. But, I mean, I train every day, and I take it very seriously. So I think that I've got a good shot against him. And if I win that, then got a couple other guys in mind that going to be down the road. So hopefully I'll be able to take a couple of these matches home and start doing well at brown belt, and in a few years get my black. Here's another thing that's going to be really quick and easy to list. It's a beer bottle capper. You just, I found a bag of bottle caps with it, and I should have grabbed those just so that I could sell the capper with some bottle caps, but it's not that big of a deal. People buy these. They go for about 15 bucks shipped, so not a lot of money, but they'll fit in a flat rate envelope. I've got actually a perfect sized box. It's a 9x6x3 that I buy, and they fit perfectly in padded flat rate mailers, so I can send stuff like this in a box inside of a mailer and still get the rate. This was a good find. It's brand new, sealed, Settlers of Catan. If you guys are not aware, it's a very popular board game. It's been around forever. It's actually a lot of fun if you're into board games. And I mean, like, in depth, takes hours to play board games, more like an RPG kind of. But I like this game a lot. This is an expansion. I would have kept it if it would have been one of the cheaper ones, but this thing sells for 50 bucks on Amazon. So I guess it's out of print. Less than $1. Make $50 on that. Pretty good flip on there. So, I mean, just with the big stuff, most everything else that I got were books, media, CDs, video games. Found a lot of video games this time. When I got in there, I was really happy to see that the book bins were full of DVDs. So I picked up a lot of DVDs, found a lot of good video games in there, and found some vinyl, actually, some really good vinyl. And so we'll see how well that does. This was one of the things I found. It's a Japanese Learn While You Drive language course on 4 CDs. This will sell for, I think it was going for like 15 bucks on Amazon. It's in good shape. All the CDs were there. I don't really care about learning Japanese, or I might just keep it and listen to it for a few months. But if it was Spanish, I would definitely keep it. It's on my bucket list. I've been wanting to do some or try and learn Spanish. It just hasn't happened yet. But I need something like this to kind of listen to while I'm driving. Barbie Dvds. These sell really good in lots. They're 50 cents each at my Wham Pay. Everything else is $1.19 a pound now. They just raised their prices like 2 or 3 weeks ago. But these Barbie DVDs, I lot these up and get $2 or $3 each for them. They ship media mail, so 5 of them I'll probably get $15 to $20. Cost me $2.50, and they sell pretty quick. So it was a good flip, I think. I'll go for that all the time, just because you don't. I like DVDs. I like CDs. I don't mind selling them for next to nothing and only make a couple dollars on them, because I can literally do like 30 or 40 listings an hour, and that adds up really quick. If you're making $2 or $3 per listing, after the shipping and the fees, and you don't have much in them in the first place, I'm happy with that. You know, I mean, I've got 50 cents a disc on those and in them right now, and I figure that's all I have in them, and I don't have to pay the fees or anything else until they sell. And when they sold, I made my money, so definitely worth it. I found a lot of DVDs, and I don't usually. Oh, hi, baby.
I threw up again.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. My daughter's sick this morning, so she's just came downstairs to see how I'm doing. But why don't you go upstairs and hang out for a minute, and I'll be done here in a little bit, okay? Okay.
But I slept.
It's okay. Yeah, so she's a little pukey and stuff. I think I gave her some bad wings last night. I ate them too, and I didn't feel that great this morning when I woke up. So hopefully, I mean, she doesn't have a fever or anything, and she's up walking around. It's just she's up, just throwing up every couple hours. I found this comedy DVD. It's actually signed by the guy, and I looked it up. Even without the signature, it was like $10. So I guess it's kind of rare. A lot of these obscure comedy DVDs, they can go pretty good. So see what I get for that. Found some more kids movies. Once again, I like to lot these up. When I get 10 or 15 of them, I'll put them up and get, you know, $30, $40 for them sometimes, especially if they're all Disney. And then this is just Steel Magnolias. I don't know why I bought this. Probably shouldn't have, but it's brand new. New DVDs sell pretty good. And this is all on eBay. I don't put any, I'm not gated for DVDs on Amazon. I got into Amazon after the grandfathering, or else I'd like buy a month. If I would have been on Amazon a month or two before I started selling there, I probably would be ungated for at least the cheap DVDs. But no big deal. They still sell good on eBay. Underworld Trilogy, that's another $8 to $10. This was interesting. Yeah. Had to get that. I mean, it's definitely naughty, fully, but I mean, anything like that is going to sell pretty good. So I'm not very moral when it comes to that kind of thing. There are certain things that I would never sell, but you know, like sex stuff and like the Kama Sutra type thing, no problem with that. Don't sell porn though. Never sold porn. Trend Micro. This is a internet security thing. It was like $15 on Amazon. It's new and sealed. I would never buy something like this if it wasn't sealed, but since it was, picked it up, 50 cents. Send that into Amazon. Get an easy $15. Here's the book that paid for the trip. I actually found a bunch of these, and this is the only one. This was actually written by a different company than the other ones. I had like 3 or 4 other ones that were really big that I almost bought. One of them was like 10 million ranking on Amazon, and the cheapest one was $140. But I was like, I don't believe that. I mean, it was too weird. No reviews. And then the other 2 were really, really high ranking, like in the 5 millions, and they were going for like $15 a piece. So I was like, nah. I mean, I probably could have taken them, lotted them up, and put them up on Amazon or on eBay. Sorry, but they were water treatment operator manuals. But this one was ranked like 300,000 on Amazon, and it was like $75 or $80. So I was happy to find this book. This book is going to cover the entire trip, and everything else is gravy once this sells. So good with that. This was another good one. I think if I remember right, the scan for like $30. So I love checking books, and they're great. The weigh and pay is awesome. 50 cents a piece. I mean, I'll do that all day long. And I'll sit there, and the book bins, I can get through all the bins because they only put out 4 at a time. And, you know, about 30 or 40 minutes. And then I'm free to go look around the rest of the outlet while I'm waiting for them to bring more media out. And they usually refill those bins like every 2 or 3 hours. This was kind of cool. This is an original first printing of a book that is actually still in print. by the same author, and this was made back in like the 1940. I love these old vintage and antique books. Even if you've never heard of them, a lot of times they'll sell. But this copy, I'm guessing I could probably get it at least $30 to $50. There was one completed listing that did not sell on eBay that was listed at $100 for the same exact thing. I mean, I'll probably sit on this for a very long time, but that's okay. If I can turn 50 cents into 40 or 50 bucks, I'm doing it. I found a bunch of these like guru books, like self-help, like little pamphlets and stuff, and they were all from like the 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. So when I went up and asked them what they would charge me for them, they said that they just give me, since they were such small little books, they were just going to give them to me for 50 cents a piece. Daniel Lawn, The Power Within Us, The Golden Key, My Visit with Tony the Miracle Healer. These are all Methods of the Magi, Psychomentalism, The Magic of the Subconscious, The Sacred Magic of the Kabbalah, Metaphysics. What is this thing? Oh, this is a letter that somebody wrote. A Ritual for Married Lovers. That's it. I think this is just a letter that somebody wrote from one person to another in 1883, but it was published in 1931. So, you know, these old 50-plus-year-old books do all right, but I think I'm going to put all these, well, this I'll probably sell separately, but I think I'm just going to lot all these up, and people are into stuff like this just for reference material, and, you know, they just want to see what people were thinking back then. So I'm guessing even if I only get, you know, $15, $20, $30 for these, they'll ship media mail, and I might even get more if I do a little research and find out one of the authors is rare or really didn't or had some success or whatever, and these end up being really early editions. A couple other older books, Cultivation of Personal Magnetism. These are all in one box in the media bin. So, you know, it was cool. The Hindu Yogi Science of Breath. So this is like a old yoga book from 1903. I mean, so cool. I love old stuff like this. And I mean, this kind of thing, people will go gaga over. I'm guessing I bet I could get 50 bucks for this just because of the reference material. It's a yoga book from 1903. I mean, that stuff is hard to find. Old Man Adam and His Chillin'. Sounds, I think what this is, I did a little research, and I think this is still in print as well. Creating Happy Mondays. Dang it, how much did I miss? You didn't miss a whole lot. I found some books. You missed all my cool stuff, like all my non-book stuff. Now I'm getting into the video games and the vinyl and things that I found. But yeah, Old Man Adam and His Chillin'. I have no idea, or I have an idea what this is about. It's like it's from 1928. It's like a black version of the history of the Bible or something like that. I'm not positive, but it's something about that. And that's going to be, this is an old enough version if it's still in print. And I don't know, maybe if like it got some kind of, what do you call it? Like scandalous, whatever, for being kind of racial or whatnot. I would think that would just raise the value a little bit and make it harder to find. I grabbed these because I looked up a couple of them. I couldn't find the exact ones on Amazon, but they were selling for about $15 each minimum. They're Navy electricity and electronics training modules. This kind of stuff I love. I mean, it's quick to list. People know exactly what they're looking for. All they need is the title, and if they need that book, it's just like any other textbook. They're going to come and find it. These look fairly recent, so I'm guessing that some version of this is still in print. And I mean, maybe somebody would need it just once again for reference. They want to see, they just want the older version for whatever reason. Maybe something changed or whatever. But like I said, these look a little newer. So these things would be, they should sell for about 15 or 20 bucks a pop. And even if I only get $10 each, that's fine. Mother's Mustache said, very nice. I'd probably keep those. I like old books, or at least read and then think about selling. I like old books too. I actually used to collect old books. I've got a lot of stuff from like the 1800s. I had this lot. It was like the original copyright infringer from the mid 1800s. I had bought like 20 of these books, and they were all printed between like 1850 and 1890. And this guy in Britain, he was just a gangster. He would go out and he would just start printing people's books, wouldn't get the permission, wouldn't get anything. He was one of the reasons why copyright laws started in the first place, I believe, if I was reading the history correctly. And there were some Charles Dickens books in there, and there was just a bunch of stuff that I hadn't really thought of. It's in my storage unit somewhere. I don't know where they are. I have never been able to find them. But I had those listed for a while. I was thinking I was going to get about $100 for the set, but I had a lot of interest. Just even with the history in the listing, I didn't get any bites, unfortunately, but I wasn't going to let them go for cheap. But they were really cool books. Still got them somewhere. Grab some vinyl. Flock of Seagulls. Bob Dylan. Electric Light Orchestra, Out of the Blue. If I remember right, these guys are like one of the original techno from the 80s. Or one of the original techno bands. I don't have a record player. I don't usually test vinyl. I take these, I don't even sell vinyl on Amazon. I take these, or eBay. I take these to a local record shop. I kind of know what kind of stuff they're looking for and what they're sure to buy. And they always give me fair prices, so I would rather not deal with returns on vinyl or an angry collector saying that I didn't disclose the damage to the cover well enough, or find out that a record skips and I have to refund a $60 record because I can't prove them wrong. I don't test vinyl. Yeah, ravish type stuff. But yeah, that's old school stuff. Found a bunch of video games, and these are all cheap ones, nothing special. I've got an Xbox 360 Connect sitting here that I need to list. I figured if I could throw a couple of Connect games in there with it, that would raise the value by $5 or $10. And if I can get an extra $5 or $10 out of a piece for spending $1, I'll do that. Plus, it makes it stand out a little more, and people are more likely to buy it. This wasn't what I expected. I was pulling out a lot of empty video game cases. But when I opened this one up, exact opposite. A bunch of GameCube games were inside. There were only 4. However, one of them was a good one. This guy right here by itself, this is a $30, $40 game, just with the disc only. If I remember right, I think Nintendo's actually made it easier to download their games and put them on their consoles, so it might be cheaper now. But it's been a while since video games just go so fast. Everybody's grabbing them, everybody's after them, and I never find them anymore. But Namco Museum, that's like a $5 or $10 game. Sims 2, that's a $10 or $15 game. SSX Tricky, that's a $5 or $10 game. And I don't mind selling disc-only video games that I just need to take one picture of, write a short description. They know what they're getting. As long as they work, they're fine. For under $10. Discs are pretty much the only thing that I'll sell for less than $10 and feel okay about. I mean, if I've got a pair of shoes or a shirt that I listed 3 months ago and it's just not selling, then I'll drop the price just to get rid of it, but not happy about it. A couple of PS2 games, nothing special. I actually found a racing wheel a couple of weeks ago. I think it was Monday, actually. So it was really recently. And I didn't have a racing game for the PlayStation 2 to test it with. So I was glad to find this. It's Gran Turismo 4. I'm just going to test it, and then I'm going to sell the wheel with this game. So just once again, the bundle thing makes it sell a little better, makes it sell a little faster, makes it stand out a little more. You can add more keywords, all that stuff. Medal of Honor. I like to buy just random PS2 games because I sell a lot of consoles, and they just sell faster and they sell better when you include games with them. So I've got 2 consoles listed right now. I'm probably going to change the listing a little bit. Basically, all I'm going to do is take a picture of the games and then Photoshop the games onto the picture of the console and have that in the main photo, and be no problem. I'm not going to mess around with redoing all the pictures and all that stuff. But including video games with the consoles when they're 50 cents each, I'll do that all day. This was cool. This is a $15 DVD. It's brand new and sealed. Just a NFL thing. I don't know. All of them had sold on eBay that I found, so I guess it's pretty rare. There weren't a whole lot of them. That should go really well. Sims 2 always sells well. I like to lot these up and sell them on eBay. First, I'll check them on Amazon because some of the stuff on Amazon actually sells pretty good. But I think these are more like basic ones. But like I said, I'll check them out. If they sell for more than 10 bucks a piece, I'll probably just put them on Amazon. But I mean, if I can lot them up and get 20 bucks for them on eBay, that might actually make more money after the shipping and everything and the fees. So might end up doing that. Here was another one that I found in that book, or in that box of like woo-woo books and pamphlets. It's Criswell's Forbidden Predictions. I mean, anything kind of obscure like this, that talking about Tarot and Nostradamus, usually it's not a lot of these were made or printed, and they're actually selling on Amazon. I think this was like 15 or 20 bucks, but it's a really high rank, so I don't know if I'm going to put it there. Harry Potter. This is one of the things that I'll buy every time I see them. I buy Harry Potter books because I like to lot them up into full collections, and the full collection of paperbacks will sell for like 30 bucks. Full collection of the hardbacks will sell for 40 typically, and they go pretty quick. Harry Potter has a huge fan base. It's insane. Another Harry Potter book I actually found. Yes. Another Harry Potter book. This is the new one that just came out. So I think this is still selling okay on Amazon, but I didn't look it up. It's probably been out for about a year, so maybe the price has gone down on it. But in a lot, with all the other ones, I've actually got a couple of the more obscure Harry Potter books in hardcover. So once I get a full collection of the hardbacks, then I'll bet I'll get 50 or 60 bucks for that set, just because it's got all the original books, the new book, and a bunch of the obscure books that are a little bit harder to find. Bear Cub Scout book. This is vintage. It's from the 60s. These old 1954. Sorry. These old Cub Scout books are like the really vintage ones. They're very desirable. They're pretty hard to find. This one's in great condition. I don't know what I can get for it. I didn't look it up, but usually I get really good money for old Cub Scout books. And they just have people like these because they have ways, they show how to do things that they don't show in the new versions, you know, like just different stuff in these older books that they're not allowed to really do anymore. So this is a cool book. I love finding those. The Alchemist. I knew this was a pretty good one. I've sold it before on Amazon. It sells for like $10 or $15, something like that. So I'll be sending that into FBA. Lesbian bedtime stories, anything like that is going to be, usually it sells really good on Amazon. It's like a $20 book, so I'll be sending that off. Tertium Organum, a key to the enigmas of the world. I can't remember what this one was going for, but I found it on Amazon. I just used the scan app. I use the Amazon seller app to do all my, or to check prices on everything. But if you go to the Amazon seller app and you hit the little camera up in the corner. So even if it doesn't have a barcode, you get that magic screen, whatever. Yeah, there's one available. It is not FBA. It's $12, but it goes by the cover of the book. So it's really easy to find stuff with that Amazon app. So I use it all the time when I'm out looking for stuff that doesn't have barcodes, just so I don't have to sit there and mess around with ISBNs and all that stuff. And so yeah, I'm guessing that I'll probably send this into Amazon. It's weird because it didn't have any reviews. That was what caught my eye about this. No reviews, but it had 25 ratings. Or I'm sorry, no rank, but it had 25 reviews, 4-star ranking. I don't know. It makes no sense to me, but maybe it just hasn't sold a copy in a while. But this is an old book. It's probably really rare, and it probably doesn't get listed on Amazon very often. So that could be why. I need to check Camel on that. And then this is the last thing I found, Patenting the Sun. This is about the polio vaccine and how they patented it and saved the world from polio, I guess. But yeah, it was selling okay on Amazon, so I grabbed it just to throw in the next shipment. And that's it. So it wasn't a lot of stuff, but it was a lot of good stuff. And mixed in with some, weird and kind of interesting things. Love finding those old books. I love it when I find vinyl that isn't like old gospel music or old symphonies or whatever, stuff that actually sells, bands that I've actually heard of. I've got a stack of vinyl up there in the corner that I need to take down to my local record shop and see what they're going to be willing to give me for. I've got a bunch of stuff that I got to take down there, actually. So there's some books and things that I don't really want to waste time sending to Amazon if I can sell it to them. Stuff like these guys. 50 cents a piece. They'll give me $1 each for these, and they always buy token. So, and if I had one more of them, if I had the Fellowship of the Ring, the same version, if I would have been able to find that, I would have been able to sell this set for about $20. And so I was kind of disappointed that I couldn't find the Fellowship, but that's okay. I could probably sell these on eBay like this for like $10, but I'm not going to bother if I can just take it down to the local bookstore and sell it to them. But yeah, this little shop, it's like a mom and pop bookshop that buys vinyl and CDs and books and games and all that stuff. So, and they pay okay. DVDs, stuff like that. So yeah, that is it. I was happy with the day. I was only there for about 2 hours. If my daughter wouldn't have been with me, I might have ended up staying there longer. But it was definitely profitable, and need to get this stuff listed and get it out of here. But yeah, like I said, just off the top of my head, got to be $50 into $500 or $600 minimum, but it might be a little more than that. Haven't really looked everything up yet. We'll see how it goes at the record store too, because these vinyls were scanning on Amazon, just using that magic app, where they scan the cover. They were like $20 to $35 a piece. So if they give me $40 or $50 for them for 4 records, I'll be extremely happy. And then I've got one of the ones that I've got up here. It's a Beck record. Came out recently. Well, reasonably recently for vinyl. Maybe 2000-ish, I would guess, late 90s. That was like $125 on Amazon. So once again, highly collectible stuff that I don't know anything about. I don't really like to deal with, just because I don't want to deal with angry collectors that want to, school me on stuff when I can just sell it to somebody who I trust, who knows what the stuff is, who knows what it's worth, who's willing to give me a fair price for it. And with that, you guys recently 2000-ish? Yeah, I know. It's vinyl. For vinyl, that's very recent. You know, I mean, I think anything after like anything into the 90s for records and even the 80s is pretty recent. It's like when they stopped doing printing everything on vinyl and started doing like cassettes and 8-tracks and stuff like that. And then they moved into CDs, and then vinyl kind of became like a niche thing that only collectors really cared about. So that's just how it's how I consider, or how I look at vinyl in specific. If you guys haven't already, if you could hit that like button, that'd help me out. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, if you do get subscribed, there's a little bell somewhere underneath my videos where you click on that, and I guess you can see like YouTube will notify you when I come online if you're interested in seeing my stuff when it comes up. Mother's mustache, 17 years ago. Yes, time flies. I'm 42, and the 90s seem like yesterday. Yeah, I just turned 38, and they seem like yesterday to me too. I'm definitely starting to get kind of old. It's one of the reasons why I got into these jiu-jitsu matches. You know, they forced me to train. They forced me to stay in shape, watch what I eat, not drink as much, and basically get ready for some other tough guys. Luckily, Seth Daniels, the guy who runs the place, runs the promotion, he likes to let us old guys stick together, so he's not throwing me to the wolves with these, you know, up-and-coming killers or anything, but still put some really good matches together, and still good displays of jiu-jitsu. You know, you don't have to be the top-level guy and best in the world to put on an entertaining match and have a good time, and even just get out there and do it in front of people. So definitely proving that every time I get up there. If you have any questions for me, you can definitely mention it right there in the chat, and I can read it. Would you guys be interested in looking over some of my sales? This week's actually been super slow for me. I mean, I don't know. It's the calm before the storm. Here in the next month or so, things should really start to pick up. I actually did some retail arbitrage last week. I went to buy a backpack for my daughter. And, well, I didn't go to buy a backpack, but I went to the store, and there's this new place called Dvds right around the corner from my house. I wanted to go check that out, and we got there, and it's basically a Ross. I mean, it looks like the same style of – it probably is Ross, just owned by somebody else, or just it's probably owned by Ross and then just a different brand, because it's the same sticker, same layout on the price tag, everything. So I found this backpack just for the heck of it. I scanned it on Amazon, and I'm ungated in a lot of stuff because when they first started really gating things, I got with Adam Biohazard Picker, and he was doing an ungating service, and he got me ungated in like 4 or 5 different categories that I never would have gotten around to doing myself. So I could sell these backpacks, and they were on sale for 15 bucks. They were selling the design that my daughter got, of course, $60 backpack on Amazon. So they had 4 or 5 of them, so I bought all those, and then I just started scanning them all. I found like 2 or 3 other designs that were selling for $15 each in the store that were selling for $40 plus on Amazon. So doubled my money on those. They should be hitting the warehouse and be available for sale anytime now. But I also found one that I couldn't sell on Amazon because it was branded by Nintendo. And Nintendo, I guess you can't sell Nintendo stuff, like which makes no sense because you can sell the games. But like their clothing and trademark stuff, they won't. I guess they won't let you sell. So I ended up buying it anyway and putting it on eBay. Sold in 2 days for $40. So that was a good flip. Yeah, let's just look. I can screen share real quick. This is some of the stuff that I just listed today, and you know, just DVDs and things. I like I said, I like doing this stuff even if it's super cheap, because I can do 40 of these an hour, and I obviously didn't spend that much time on it this morning, but I got this these Crazy Bones go-go things. I guess one of them is really rare. They've been sitting on my shelf for a while, like 2 months. I bought them at a garage sale for nothing. Like person threw them in for me for free because I was buying some other stuff. So we'll see if I can actually get anywhere near that for them, but a couple people checked it out. This is how I like to lay out my listing screen, by the way, just so I can see the views and the watchers and all that stuff. Some Disney plush, little Warhammer fig that I found that was in a box full of other stuff that had just become unlisted for some reason. If you guys are watching my, if you're in the reseller wake, if you're in the reseller wake up Facebook group, then you've seen me list, or you've seen me put this up. It was a Samsonite train case. I got it. It was in really bad shape. I cleaned it up a little bit as best I could. It's funny because I found another suitcase identical to this one with the same front tag and everything. It was in pretty good shape at the weigh and pay yesterday. It was the same color, same design, that tan marble, and I almost bought it, but suitcases are big, bulky, they take up a lot of space, and they are like, it was only selling for like $40 shipped, and it would have cost me $20 to ship it. Probably they would have charged me $5 for it. I wasn't willing to go through all that hassle for something that cheap, and it was bigger than the train case, actually selling for about the same, maybe a little less. I got these. So I went to Florida a few weeks ago. If you follow me on Facebook, you've probably seen that. And I got I bought like a timeshare presentation thing. Like if you pay $200, you go to, or you get 4 days or 4 nights at a hotel of your choice that's close to these timeshares. And you go there, and then you have to do like a 2-hour presentation at some point while you're there. And the rest of the time, you're on vacation. So we found this hotel. It was $150 a night normally, so we got a pretty good deal on that. But they also gave us $175 in gift cards. So I got on Bass Pro, which is where the gift cards were for, and found these knives. I bought like 8 of them for $20 a piece, shipped to my door, and yeah, gonna try and get $35 for them. See how that goes. Last time I sold some brand new knives like that I had gotten, they went okay. These don't seem to be getting as much action, but it's okay. If I have to drop the price a little bit, they were gift cards. Even if I only get like $25 a piece for them, they'll ship first class. It'll be still be a good turnaround. It'll at least pay for those, pay for my hotels. Let's see. As far as the actual sales, let's see where I'm at. Like I said, sales have been down a little bit. Sold a DVD. This is just part of a box set. Trackball mouse. I found this for $1.99 the other day. Sold the next day, $12.95. I got this at the weigh and pay. The CD, $8.95. Paid 50 cents. I got this at a garage sale. I think it was last Sunday. Yeah, it was the Sunday before last. I picked this up at a garage sale. I paid around $5 for it. Sold it for $20. Made $5. Lord of the Rings. I got this for $1.99 at a thrift store a month or so ago in a Big Lot. $15. Kill Bill. I got this at the weigh and pay for 50 cents. Got $9 for that. Nintendo Wii's. I always buy Wii's whenever I can get them for like 10 or 15 bucks. I like to sell the consoles by themselves, get around $30 for those, and then I sell the controllers in lots. I sell the parts in lots, like sometimes if I have a couple of extra complete ones, then I'll sell those complete. But yeah, I can get 60 or 70 bucks for them on Amazon complete. But when they are not complete, they're missing the wires, whatever, I usually get much better deals because pawn shops think they can't sell them that way, or they don't want to bother. So yeah, this is actually something that I found in a closet, buried. It was a Final Fantasy VII missing disc 1, and I don't remember where I got it, how much I paid for it. Got it a long time ago, but it was missing disc 3, but sold disc 1 for $9.95. Have the other disc 2 listed for $9.95. We'll see if that goes, but yeah, it's a Final Fantasy VII game disc. So some of those old multi-disc RPGs that for like the PS1 and stuff like that. You can sell the discs, and disc 1 always sells the best because that's the disc that's always missing. It's either the first disc or the last disc, but they'll all sell eventually. Really, I sat on this thing for a long time. I bought it for Amazon. I got it home and I realized that there was this tear in the rubber, which basically made it so that I couldn't send it into Amazon, where I probably could have gotten $30 for it. So I had to sell it locally, or I had to sell it on eBay. I got $15 for it. Cost $10 to ship. Basically, I made nothing on this thing, but that's okay. Food saver. Oh, this keyboard. It was a gaming keyboard. The guy said that the keys didn't work. It would have cost me more money to have it sent back, so I just refunded him and didn't want to deal with it. Let's see. Got this food saver for $10 at a Goodwill. Sold that for $100. Tony Llama boots. I bought these at the Wampay. Probably paid $3 for them. Got $35 shipped. I think I paid $10 to ship them. They're pretty lightweight. They shipped in a large mailing box. And then vintage Scrabble. Found this at the Wampay. You probably paid around $5 for it. I don't know, whatever it came out to. But I got $42 shipped for that. Death Symbolic. This is a death metal CD, or a pair of CDs by the same band. I found these at the Wampay for 50 cents each. So paid $1 total. Sold them for $19.95 shipped. Thermaltake CPU Cooler. You know, if I find computers that look like they might have been gaming computers, I'll take them home, take them apart, throw the tower away because they're just not worth the hassle most of the time. They just cost too much to ship. But I'll sell. This is a Thermaltake aftermarket cooler. Got $15.95 shipped for that. I think I sold. Excuse me. I think I put that in a flat rate envelope, so made a couple bucks there. And then Xbox 360, I paid $2 for, or $20 for this at a garage sale. Got $80 shipped for it, so probably made $20 or $30 on that. Got these shoes at the Wampay. Paid $2 or $3. Got $26 shipped. This mug, it's a Souvenir Disneyland mug from 1955. It was in my girlfriend's, it was like a thing that my girlfriend had, and she had just collected over the years, and she found it when we were kind of decluttering, and she let me have it to sell. I got $41 for that. And then, yeah, I think I've covered most of this other stuff recently. But yeah, this barcode scanner fits an iPod 5 or 6. My girlfriend found this for $15 actually. She got $100 shipped for it, so that was a good flip. Let's see. So Mother's mustache, my bro-in-law, that MMA stuff, hard but good for the mind and body, he always said. He only did it for about 5 years. We live in the Atlanta area. I realized quick not to judge when I saw an older guy versus a younger one. Younger isn't necessarily better in that arena. It's definitely not. I mean, I've got to roll with younger guys all the time. And, I mean, some of the best, especially with jiu-jitsu, I mean, some of the best, most savvy guys out there are older. And, I mean, it's just about mat time. How much time you spend on the mat, how much time you've put in on the mat over the years. Some of the best guys in the world are probably 40, 50, 60 years old. I wouldn't be able to touch them if I rolled with them. But, yeah. There are a lot of younger guys, though, that come after me. You know, they see that brown belt, and they see that I'm older and should be losing a couple steps, so they put it to me, and I love it. I mean, you really need that, I think, to really make people you need a little strife in your life. And one of the best things that you can do for yourself is put yourself through physical stress, and jiu-jitsu is one of those places, you know. I mean, you can just clear your mind and do the stuff. That's all that I'm focused on when I'm rolling, you know, just in the moment, in the role. But anyway, I think I'm going to wrap this up, guys. Nothing crazy going on around here. Just need to get some of this stuff listed, try and get these sales picked up a little bit. And going to be revamping some listings this afternoon, and need to make sure that my kid's okay. Because, like I said, she is sick, not feeling too well today. Not super sick, but enough that, you know, I'm not going to be going anywhere or doing anything today. So, anyway, thanks everybody for watching. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please feel free. You can hit that red subscribe button. If you haven't already liked the video, hit that thumbs up. Helps me out a lot. If you go to the Reseller Wake Up on Facebook, you can join my group there. I've also got another group called Sourcing Connection that has been getting a lot of people in there for some reason. I guess Facebook is pushing groups, and it's crazy. I mean, I've been getting 10 or 15 people a day in there and really not posting anything, but I've been trying to think of what I want to do with it. Originally, what I was going to do is sell lots of just death piles, basically stuff that I hadn't gotten around to listing yet, that I knew there was good money in, but I just didn't have time when I felt like decluttering and stuff like that. And I've done it a few times. I've made good money in that group, but yeah, it seems like a lot of people have been using it just to pimp their eBay auctions, which is not what that group is for, guys. If you have to blow it up, or if you need to go post something in there, make sure that it's a lot, make sure that it's a good deal for a reseller to buy, so that you know that they're going to be able to resell it and make some good money. Anyway, I will talk to you all later. I'm sorry I didn't do a video on Sunday. I got online in the morning, didn't really feel up to it. Nobody was answering me in the chat. I didn't want to do it by myself, so that's why I didn't do it Sunday. But this Sunday I should have another show. And I am on Instagram at PaulGBJJ. You can actually see all my social media links on the bottom there, right under in the comment section, or I'm sorry, in the description of the video. And I've got, you know, some materials, and you know, you can see what poly mailers I use, and bubble wrap, and the eBay boxes and stuff like that that I use for my supplies. And then some of my Amazon apps you can get down there at the very bottom and use one of those referral links. It'll help me out if you want to try them out. Kai Magic is free for up to 50 listings. That's the repricer that I'm using right now. I'm really liking it. I think it does a really good job of keeping the inventory moving. And then, of course, the Amazon Seller app. What's It Worth on eBay is kind of nice. It's a little bit faster than the eBay app most of the time. And then Joe Lister lets you post Amazon FBA listings to eBay. And it kind of just gives you your store a little bit more exposure. And I've been using that to good success. And you can have 2 listings up at a time with the free program. If the free program works out well for you, you can pay them for more listings and really start to move your Amazon listings on eBay that way. But thanks again for watching. We will see you all probably Sunday, and Bitcoin.